This is the Liverpool I grew up on. This is the Liverpool I remember. We've got our Liverpool back. We've got our Liverpool back. We've got our Liverpool back. You know what? I'm loving it, but you guys know I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible, if that is possible. I really don't know if it is. But listen, this is the Liverpool I grew up on. Struggling, mid-table, not involved, late charge for the top four, make nice cup team, you know what I mean? Steven Gerrard! Them ones. While the real big boys win trophies. But look, again, sorry, I just had to throw that dig in there. Liverpool have started the season absolutely terribly. There's literally no two ways about it. A Liverpool fan will tell you that. A non-Liverpool fan will tell you that. This is not what we expected. And guys, do you know what the funniest thing ever is? When I started and came to FTBL, they said, hey, throw your predictions. I got out of bed, rolled, saw what's going on. I said, Liverpool are going to win the league. Oh, Liverpool to win the league. That is probably my worst prediction ever. So I got to hold that myself. I did not expect this. I'm not going to sit here, act like a guru and say I saw this come in and this and this. No, that was not the case. But we have to dive into what has happened to Liverpool. In all honesty, what has happened? 7th, 4 wins in 11 games, 4 draws, 3 losses. I'm going to just stick to that losses point right there. Do you know how many games Liverpool lost last season? 2. 2 games last season. Liverpool have already lost in the first 11 games this season. They have lost more games than they did last season. That is an incredible stat. And that just goes to show they are way off expectations. Back to last season, Liverpool conceded 26 league goals. We are 11 games in. They have conceded 13. 50% of how much they conceded last year, and we still have another 27 games to go. The stats are not sounding nice. And I'm going to give you guys another stat because I'm going to give you the stat show right now. Since, and this is shout out to my production Liaz for sending this, I'm feeling like Sky Sports News. Liverpool are just 1 point better off at this stage of the season than they were in 2010. And do you know who the manager in charge was? Good old Roy Hodgson. Good old Roy. We know how bad that team were. I don't even need to go through some of the players. I don't want to disrespect anybody. But this is a team that finished just 1 point off the title. This is a team that were going for the quadruple last year. It's gone totally wrong. And part of this, for me, has to come down to the lack of refreshment of the team. Has to come down to the age of this team. We got to be honest. This is the team. Liverpool at the moment are the third in the table for the oldest fielding starting 11 on average. That's absolutely crazy. I saw a stat as well in 2017-18, around the time when Klopp's team really took shape. That's the team that got to the Champions League final and lost to Real Madrid. Liverpool fielded the youngest starting 11 on average in the league. The youngest. And every single season, it's getting lower. It's getting older and older and older to the point where now they are the third. They are 18th when it comes to the oldest team in the Premier League. So that is a damning statistic right there. Liverpool have not refreshed in the way they expected. Well, in the way a top team should. We go back to to Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson, the best thing he did is understand when it's time to refresh the squad. Van Nistelrooy, I'm sorry, this is Ronaldo and Rooney's time. David Beckham, I'm sorry, you can go. I'm bringing a new number 7 in Cristiano. Yapstam, you want to say all this type of stuff? Okay, cool, whatever. The only person that Ferguson struggled to replace was Peter Schmeichel. It took way too long from Schmeichel to Van der Sar, but that's another whole discussion. But he always knew when it was time to refresh the squad. And has Jurgen Klopp really understood that? I don't believe so. He's still relying on a Van Dijk who has come back from an ACL. Yes, Van Dijk is only 31, probably going to be 32. And that's a normal age in football now. Some people actually hit their prime in them days. But as soon as that ACL happens, alarm bells should be ringing. Alarm bells should be ringing, and we've been seeing it this season. He is not the same guy that we grew to expect, that was in the GOAT conversations. Yes, he had an amazing game against Haaland. He had to throw that back. He said, hey, I ain't letting no young and, you know what I mean, come up in my ends and take my goods. You know, I still got my chain on. So I respect that. He still got his chain. You know what I mean? Haaland ain't yanked that yet. It's coming, but he ain't yanked it yet. However, consistently, he cannot produce what he used to do. Jordan Henderson, the captain, the leader, the workman of that squad. No disrespect, but he's finished. Henderson is finished. Let's be honest. If he was playing for West Ham, he'll struggle to start. If he was playing for any of these type of teams, he would struggle to make an impact. Not one person, if Jordan Henderson went to any other team in the Premier League, not one Liverpool fan would say, see that Jordan Henderson guy right there? I think we should sign him. He should play for our club. As soon as that's the case, you should start, alarm bells should be ringing. So you got Jordan Henderson, who's aging. You got Thiago, who's a fantastic signing, and he's a great player. Milner, I mean, thank you very much. You got Milner, still relying on players like James Milner, Milner made his debut in 2002. In 2002! Oh, damn! Let me tell you what was happening. If I go into what was happening in 2002, I mean, I remember those days. That's when SmackDown was on it. Yeah, those days were old school days, man. I'm talking Pokemon and all them days. It's mad. So you're still relying on a James Milner. Andrew Robertson, who's not old himself, but he's got mileage on his legs. When you're playing for this Klopp system, you've got to be intense, you've got to be fast, you've got to be aggressive. So imagine doing the same thing for a 5-year stretch. It's going to catch up to you. I'm not here saying Jurgen Klopp is a bad manager. He's still one of the top 5 managers in world football, undeniably. However, what has stopped him from refreshing this squad properly? Now, you look at when Sadio Mane went. They brought in Luis Diaz before Mane, probably in preparation that he was going to go. They brought in Darwin Núñez. Now, Núñez is still up and down. I think he's going to score goals, but it's going to take a while. But the core of who Liverpool still rely on are guys from 5 years ago, for 5 seasons ago. It's madness. You look at Man City, who should be their rivals. Kompany's gone. David Silva's gone. Jesus gone. Sterling gone. Sane gone. Like Fernandinho gone. I can go through this list. Replaced Rodri, Diaz. Who else am I missing? Haaland. Grealish and Foden's come through, and all these kind of guys are coming through. Bernardo Silva has now gained more importance in the team. All these kind of guys from the old guard have been transitioning this 5-year period where Liverpool have stayed still. And now that's why you look at them in the table, they are way off. They are way off. I mean, title races are gone. Like, unless they go and win 20 in a row, which they have shown they can probably do, it's not going to happen. But I want to point at somebody in particular as well. As much as we're talking about the aging squad, Jurgen Klopp is being let down by key figures. I mentioned Van Dijk. What's the excuse for Fabinho? What's the excuse for someone like that who just seems to have jumped off a cliff? Now, it's starting to get to a point where some people say maybe something's going on in his personal life and stuff. I'm not really going to touch on that. However, players like that who are key, we have seen the importance, the rising importance of a defensive midfielder in this modern era, I would say. You know, back then, you got 2 good strikers, they'll bail you out of most games. Or you got a good little wide man, he'll put something in it. The defensive midfielder now is so important because they are the sole anchor there. You look at the impact Casemiro has made at United. You look at Rodri. You look at once upon a time the importance of a Jorginho at Chelsea, or I wouldn't say Kante's defensive midfield, but those ball winners, those people that get around. Fabinho is meant to be in the engine room. His legs are gone. I don't know if his legs are gone or what's happened, but he's not that guy. But again, is it burnout? Is it overusage? Who has ever really been Fabinho's understudy? Not had one. It's like he'll play every game and then maybe Henderson might fill in the 6. Who knows? But again, we're at a situation where, are we talking about burnout? Because you can't say that these guys are not good players anymore. But losing games like Nottingham Forest and stuff, it goes beyond quality at this point. It goes beyond quality. You shouldn't be losing to Nottingham Forest and these certain type of teams. It goes beyond that. Now you start to think, are they playing for the manager? Do they want to do something else? I'm seeing Klopp has now moved on to a 4-4-2 kind of formation. Does that suit Liverpool? Let's be honest. Does that really suit Liverpool? The recruitment that I've been talking about, let's even go to the team that are flying in the Premier League at the moment, Arsenal. The recruitment they got, Zinchenko from City, winner. Jesus from City, winner. They have added key components into that team. When you're talking about Thomas Partey, someone that came from Atletico Madrid, Champions League experience. Liverpool have added Harvey Elliott from Fulham, Fabio Carvalho from Fulham. I'm looking at the Liverpool team, and the only real differences from 3-4 years ago are some Fulham boys. That's not a level raiser. It's not a level raiser. And that is why I'm majorly concerned for them. Can it be a situation with FSG? I'm going to be fair to Liverpool fans. I do think FSG are not helpful for them. And they haven't probably got the ownership that can allow them to sustain such a level. Manchester City can, that Chelsea could in the past, that United have in the past. Because of obviously United's a self-generated money. However, Liverpool are in a situation where FSG, they don't pump money in the club. Liverpool have had to, the magic of Jurgen Klopp had to come realistically from the Coutinho sale. That's what we call them, net spend FC. Liverpool always topping the charts for net spend. But is that sustainable to compete in the Premier League? The Premier League is the most financially driven league in the world. You've got to put money where your mouth is if you want to be at the top. If United want to get back where you go, they're going to have to spend another 200 million. If Chelsea do, another 200 million. If Spurs do, same thing. City are going to spend another 200 million while topping the league. That is the problem. So FSG do have to take some blame. I'm not going to put it all on Jurgen Klopp. However, this is the situation that they are in. And you guys know me by now. Come on. You guys thought I was going to do a Liverpool video and not touch on my man on the right. You guys thought I would do a Liverpool video and not touch on my man on the right. As this video is being done, Mo Salah has 3 league goals in 11 games. And going back to the point of what I said about Klopp is being failed by some of men that he should be able to rely on. Fabinho, Trent. Mo Salah is the one who you should say, well, not, what should I say you should say? He is Liverpool's talisman. Mo Salah is Liverpool's talisman. As much as people want to say Mane was so important, let's keep it 100. Mo Salah, goals, assists, the moments, it was genuinely Mo Salah, usually. He's the one that writes the headlines. 3 goals in 11 games this season. Now, Liverpool fans said, he's playing too wide. Yeah, he's playing too wide. So having to do what he should do as a winger, he can't do. People are saying, no, he's playing too wide. He needs to be able to affect the games and score and get inside. He's moved inside, and I'm seeing the same thing that people were saying before. Oh, and he moved inside against Nottingham Forest and had 4 passes, completed 4 passes. And people said, no, he's isolated up there. What do you want? Do you want him as a 9? Do you want him wide? It seems to be a lot of confusion without pointing the finger at his level, just dropping. He signed a new deal, the mega new deal. Gutted not to probably have won the Ballon d'Or, or gutted to have not won the AFCON. Gutted to not be in the World Cup. He has taken some hits in the last year, but this is not a surprise. It's been a year of average form for Mo Salah. A year of it. This isn't just this season. It's been a year. Let me tell you a stat again. In the first 11 games of last season, Mo Salah scored 10 goals. In that, a hat-trick at Old Trafford, goals versus Man City, goals versus Chelsea. And this season, he has 3 in 11 games. It's just not the standard. Liverpool are being let down by their talisman. And that is the reality of the situation. Only one man this season can say, you know what? I'm actually playing well. And that's Alisson. I mean, you know Alisson? He's making a stake to be an all-time great Premier League keeper. Now, I'm seeing a little bit of exaggeration with him, but he is an all-time great Premier League keeper. And he is the key reason why Liverpool are even 7th. Without Alisson Becker, Liverpool can genuinely, I would say, be about 12th in the league this season. And that is a scary, scary thing to say. Liverpool fans are very, very, very loyal. So I do not expect them to turn on Jurgen Klopp. And I'm not here to say they should. But the alarm bells are ringing. I'm talking about Liverpool standards. I'm not talking about what Man United have set over the couple past years, or what Chelsea have set, or Spurs. Their rivals are Man City. And at the moment, the gulf between them is astronomical. Every era comes to an end, like Ten Hag said. Is the Liverpool era over? That's for you guys to decide. Every era comes to an end. And if this era does come to an end, how do Liverpool fans look back at it? 1 Premier League title, 1 Champions League, 1 FA Cup, 1 Carabao Cup. In their greatest spell in modern history. Are you happy? You satisfied? Is that success? I'll leave that for you guys. But guys, that was another episode of FTBL Culture. It's your boy CultureCams. Oh my God, what happened to Liverpool? It's worrying. It is worrying. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. This is the club spotlight. Let me know what other club you guys want me to highlight, and I will dive in and I will talk about them. But as I always say, I wouldn't want to be y'all. I'm out.